So, and now we are live. Hello everybody, we are live at the Purple Noise installation, Share Your Air, at the Kunstmuseum Wolfsburg. This is part of the exhibition Empowerment, which is closing today and which has been on for 4 months. A very wonderful exhibition on empowerment and feminisms worldwide. We are inviting you to spend half an hour with us in our space at the exhibition. Here we have the Share Your Air project, an expanded space for breathing. This is what we've been preparing for you. We have a manifesto which we will be reading from, which we have worked on while we were thinking and breathing together. We had a breathing choir for the opening of the exhibition, where we can see the score here. You can also find this material and a documentation of it on our Instagram channel. And we are now entering furthermore into our space. We were seeing here the video, which is both documenting the breathing performance of the opening night, but also showing us very simple breathing exercises in animated form, which also can be found on the Instagram channel and which were part of the introduction we find here in the space. We're following Sophie Wohlgemuth into the space and to find here Cornelia Solfrank, who will read us from our manifesto and who I'm preparing now. We are back into this in the space. Just a second. We of course need our wonderful filter, the purple filter, which gives us the right tune and light. And now Cornelia Solfrank will read from the manifesto of Share Your Air.
Yes, hi, good afternoon everyone. The manifesto of Share Your Air altogether has 16 paragraphs, and I'm going to read some excerpts for you this afternoon. If you like it, if you're interested, please feel free, go to our website or our Instagram and you can download it from there. Share Your Air. Breathing is our way of learning, alone and together, raising consciousness. Breathing is an exercise of self-awareness. It teaches us all we have to know about ourselves and the world. Breathing is care. We would like to take care of each other. We would like to dedicate time to each other. We would like to be empathetic with each other, but we don't have time. And this is not what we want to be, breathless. Breathing is self-care. No time to rest, no time to simply observe how the air flows into the body, how the oxygen feeds your cells, how it builds your energy, survival or narcissism. Who governs our lives? What are the hierarchies to obey? Taking care always starts with oneself, whoever itself might be. Care of oneself as self-formation, a continual act of freedom. Breathing is situated. The floating signifiers do come home, return to the body. Class, gender, race, and the constitution of our body specifies our breath, our experience of the world. To achieve respiratory justice, we first have to understand who we are and where we stand. Okay, so this was just a little excerpt from the manifesto. There is much more to enjoy.
Thank you very much. And now we are.
I think we start with the statements.
Now we're starting with the statements, and I'm changing the position. Camera. Yeah. So I'm standing next to breathing is presence, which is for me the most important outcome of what I have learned through our journey through breathing. I've worked with breathing for quite some time. I've used breathing techniques in my life before, but within this project we've talked about breathing, we've been breathing together, we have been talking, reading, we have been exploring breathing in very multi-dimensional aspects. We've learned that breathing is not only breathing in and out, that there's many phases in between the in and out, so it's not non-binary. We've learned a lot of things, but for me, which is the most important, is that breathing's presence. That breathing helps me to come back to presence, which then again helps me to be clear and aware and where I want to be in that moment. And that helps me to connect and to understand everything a bit more deeper.
Thank you, Janine Sack. We will now switch to Cornelia Söfmark,
Again,
who is standing next to the purple tile, breathing is relational. What are you taking from the project, Cornelia?
well, I mean, before we started to develop this theme of breathing for our project, I was in touch with yoga breathing techniques and different yoga courses, so I had a kind of a sense of how powerful breathing is, but it was rather superficial, I have to say. And then when we started to get deeper into the project, the first thing what we did is that we thought we actually need to learn skills. We need to learn breathing techniques, and that's what we did in different workshops. And it was very interesting to see how the different techniques have an impact on your body, but not just on the body, but also on your mind. So breathing techniques can calm you down, can balance your mind, can make you calm. That is usually why we do them for. They could also do the opposite, of course. When we had a certain set of skills, or I had a certain set of skills, I thought, so now I have all the powerful tools I need also to control my body, my mind, and have an impact on my mind. But then it turned out that I didn't do the exercises, that I didn't use the techniques. Because in order to sit down and relax and really get yourself concentrate on the breathing techniques, you already need to be in a certain balanced state of mind, which was obviously lacking a lot of time. So I'm still very much intrigued by this interrelation between the body and the mind. So first you need to have a certain mindset to sit down and do the techniques that then have an impact on your body, and then again that have an impact on your mind. And this interplay between body and mind, and also the discipline or whatever, trying to find a routine where you kind of really build it into your day and make it part of your everyday life to use the powerful tools. That's what I'm still diving into and want to learn more.
Thank you, Cornelia. We are now handing over to another member of purplenoise, who is also on this live stream, which is Christina Grammatikopoulou. Please tell us what are your takeaways from the project.
Hello. Well, as we started to study the subject of breathing to eventually create this work that we presented, this project for the exhibition, Through a lot of research and workshop, one of the things that surprised me was that breathing is political, that some lives are more or less breathable than others, depending on your social class, your origin, or even your gender. Not only because we have different bodies, or due to political oppression, but also due to the fact that the very air that we breathe depends on where we live, and where we live is something political. Some areas in the same city might have cleaner or less cleaner air. So I think one thing that we have to think about is how we can have more equity in breathing and have cleaner for most people, for all people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christina.
And we're now handing over to Sophie Wohlgemuth, who is also going to share with us her most important experience from this project.
Yes, I'm standing next to where breathing is situated. And our first insight when we started exploring the topic of breathing was how very, very hard it is to do properly. And we were constantly amazed at every text we read, at every discussion we had, at every workshop where we tried different techniques, how situated a very, very, maybe the most basic need for survival thing that every alive being has to do is. Because, as Christina said, which air do we get to breathe, and how many of us, or how often, do we actually have the resources available to take the time to breathe, and not like running around hectically, breathing shallowly, but take nourishing breaths and nourish our body. And I found it personally very inspiring and also very empowering to step into the space and to develop a praxis which I can now return to every time that I need it, although I have to constantly remind myself to do it more often. And what we wanted to achieve with this project, Share Your Air, was to create a space which is just for that.
Thank you very much. And now we're handing over. We are very honored and very happy to have the curators also talking to us today. Sorry, I'm so very welcome to you all. So we have Uta Rukam, Katharina Koch, and Dino Steinhoff. Sorry, and actually Christina, who is in Thessaloniki, will interview you now. So I'm still gonna move in a little bit so we can hear you well. I'm trying to frame you all and hand over to Christina. Thank you.
Hello. Well, the first question would be, what is, as short as you can, if you can give us the basic concept of the empowerment exhibition?
Do you need me to repeat it? Or
Basic concept of the exhibition.
Yes, so just.
Got it. Well, as short as I can. That is a challenge you are giving us. Basically, it's an exhibition, like a survey of the 21st century dealing with art and feminisms. And we have 115 artists from 50 countries, 70% of non-Western artists. And with the whole show, we wanted to be as multi-perspective as possible. So we also invited 5 collectives from different continents. We established several networks. We had an advisory board, so that we really, in the end, have a transnational overview of empowerment reflected in artworks in our exhibition.
Thank you.
Thank
Christina?
you. A second question would be, how does purple noise fit into the concept of the exhibition?
As Uta already said, so we invited also collectives and for being part of the exhibition, also artistic collectives and only curatorial collectives. And I think the whole curatorial idea is also something which is really connected to feminist approaches. So, and also, of course, Purple Noise is working in this way, yeah, trying to establish networks, trying to establish solidarity structures, and so on, and share your air. I think it's at least my opinion or our as curatorial opinions that you have this really current or updated aspect. Of course, we all suffered of the COVID-19 pandemic, so it's really also a reaction on it, how to deal with this, yeah, with this situation of where breathing is something really become really something, yeah, such important in one's life. On the one hand, on the other hand, I think it has a lot to do with including also the environment, and not only human beings, but also non-human beings, and also, yeah, trying to bring up this idea of a planetary approach. And this is also something which we follow with the exhibition, this planetary approach, which is really important to us.
Yes, and also coming together as a group, artists that support each other, yeah, forming a group and share their experiences. So when I look at the wall, breathing is non-binary, breathing is relational. Yeah, this is the notion that we wanted to establish within empowerment. So this, I think, Purple Noise, hashtag Purple Noise, is a group consisting of artists that support each other, and this is full of empowerment. So it's very much the spirit of our exhibition here, I would say.
Yes, thank you. Well, this partly covered, like, my last question for you would be, what is, like, personally perhaps the most interesting learning or aspect of Share Your Air? I don't know if you could elaborate on that.
The most important
Interesting aspect or thing you've learned, yes, from Share Your Air.
Well, I think the most important aspect is it's all about tearing down boundaries, dissolving borders between genders, between people, between nations. So Share Your Air is like a worldwide concept. That's pretty much the heart of our empowerment exhibition.
Would you like to add?
Yeah, well, it's about communication. So if I recall your performance, so it was a space consisting of artists, but also the audience that communicate with each other through their shared air. So we all breathe the same air, so to speak. So, and yeah, the room was filled with empowerment during the performance. Yeah.
It's also a lot about activating a space. So, I mean, we have a lot of art musicians here, but the artists are not here. And I mean, with you activating the space, it's also, yeah, it's a great moment also to experience, and also interaction with the public. Digital public or real public, or not real, but analog public.
Yeah.
Christina?
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm kind of translating because you're not seeing Christina speak. So thank you so much for joining us in our little stream, and thank you again also for having us here. So we would like to end today, thank you, with breathing, obviously, and wonderful. We will have a little breathing performance, or actually we want to just breathe together with you, basically. So Connie, you want to sit with Sophie?
Yeah.
And I will I will stay behind the camera, but I'm with you and I'm breathing with you as well, and so is Christina. Um, I, thank you. So I hand over to Sophie.
Thank you, Janine. I would like you to maybe, while I'll talk, zoom in on some of the tiles on the wall. I actually wanted to guide you there.
Yeah.
So as we were saying, breathing or learning how to breathe properly can be very difficult if we are coming into this world as naturals and then we unlearn it. And then it takes a lot of time and practice and mindset and resources to relearn to breathe properly. And we wanted to create a space where everyone can come and sit and lie down and breathe and be with themselves or with others. And that's why we put very, very basic instructions or encouragements on how you can try different styles of breathing on the wall. And one of them we are going to try out together now. We're going to try 3 of them, so this is number 1. And first one is simple, breathe in and out, but try to observe your breath without intentionally influencing it. So what happens while you're breathing? What is expanding?
Okay, so you've read it. Breathe in, breathe out. I'm going back to Sophie to guide us.
Thank you. So really it is just taking stock without judging. What is expanding, what hurts, what is uncomfortable, what maybe feels great. Just breathe in and out and see what happens and what it does to I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Take your last couple of breaths for this exercise. Don't worry when this live stream is ended. You can do it for the next 2 hours. It's good. And the second exercise we would like to suggest is trying to breathe as slowly as possible. So you're also breathing in and out, nothing fancy, but try to, with each breath, prolong your breathing in, your inhalation and your exhalation more. So, tip from fellow pro breathers is to count. And you can take a number and maybe count to 4 and then see if you can count to 5. But you can also just try to take it very slow and also notice how the air is going through your airways into your belly and then back out.
Slowly take last of the slow breaths. And for the last breathing exercise, we would like to share with you is actually getting another person. If you can't do this right now, you might also try to lie down on the floor or try to get some kind of contact point with your body. So you could lean back in your chair so that your back is actually at the chair, or you could lie down, or you could also like do this on your desk. Just get some kind of contact point. And Martin and I are going to stand up and stand back to back. And then sharing our air this way. Because breathing together while we have contact points is a whole different thing. How are we breathing together? At which point in my breathing or in Cornelia's breathing are our bodies exchanging information? Try it out and see for yourself. And also breathe in and out. Slowly take the last breath of this exercise. Feel free to continue if it feels good. Let go. We thank you so much for joining us today in our stream. We hope it was a nourishing experience for you. We hope you will continue breathing, even if the project Share Your Air is not coming to a close now, as long as possible. Yes. And see you soon.
Bye bye. Thank you so
Bye,
much for
everyone.
joining us. And I'll just end with a last round through our space to keep this in all our best memory. And here we are. Bye bye.